Hey guys, Heavy Arms 45 here. Now, I am behind like 1, 2, 3 weeks, and I planned on for November doing stuff I'm thankful for. So, to make up for it, I'm gonna do an extended video for today, with it being Thanksgiving, to go ahead and say stuff that I'm thankful for. Mind you, I y'all probably not don't like what I say, but y'all listen to this, so I'm thankful. Um, Sorry for the lack of videos, but yeah, sorry for the lack of videos. But the first thing I'm thankful for is American superheroes. I was brought up. I was born in the 80s, so I'm an 80s kid. Watching 80s shows, I loved watching Ninja Turtles. I loved watching He-Man, Conan the Adventurer, Batman when the 90s came in, Superman. I loved all those superheroes. And the thing about it was, a lot of the superheroes were just overpowered. He-Man with the Sword of Power could beat just about anyone. Basically, it was Skeletor trying to outsmart him. Same thing with Superman. When you look at uh, American superheroes, they're normally either smarter than the person they're fighting, aka Batman, or they're stronger than the person they're fighting, aka Superman, He-Man. Um, I want to say like a lot of characters that, when it comes to it in America, they're most of the time better than the person they're going against. Superman is stronger than Lex Luthor, but he Lex is smarter than him. But a lot of times, which is odd, even though Lex has to find ways to circumvent the powers of Superman, he still puts him into a situation where Superman gets to use his strength to overpower Superman more than it is him trying to kill Superman, which is supposed to be his main goal. Um, with a person as smart as Lex, you would think that he would use something that is not a giant armored suit that, sure, it shoots kryptonite lasers, but this man is supposedly faster than light. So having something that's about the speed of laser is nothing compared to him. Um, you know, Even if you go with Barry Allen is supposed to be the Flash, the fastest man on Earth. Well, the fastest man alive. So, with him being the fastest, why is it that a lot of times when he fights somebody, it's most of the time a speed battle? So, and with the title of Fastest Man Alive, that means that he's supposedly faster than the Reverse Flash, Zoom, everybody that you've seen on the Arrowverse. But a lot of times, that's what it comes down to. He's fighting either ordinary people or um, people who have maybe a slight quirk that might be able to trip him up. But in the end, he can overpower them with his powers. American heroes always have a overpowering thing. Even Batman, who has technically no powers, is so OP in his preparations and the stuff that he has for the most part. You know, there's only been one time that somebody has, like, literally, as we say, when Bane broke Batman's back, that was a big deal. You know, then you have the armor that he created just to fight Bane. Um, he has constantly is coming out with technology that someone else might not have thought of. Nobody else would have had the ability to get to. And that's the thing about Batman. Um, and it's always the same way. Everyone in all the ones I can think of is always stronger, smarter, or faster than the person that they're facing in DC or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. You do have people like Darkseid, Thanos. Those are people that like. Those are people that uh, they're really strong, and they're not meant to be in some cases defeated on their own. They're meant to be a team effort. Hence why a lot of times you see Superman go against Darkseid, but sometimes he needs help from the rest of the Justice League, or you don't see Iron Man going after Thanos. You normally see the rest of the Avengers with him to fight Thanos. So there's not, in America, to me, I love that idea. And I like the idea of, in their stories, everything is put into this one episode, and you get an actual ending. You're like, okay, this person was put to justice. Once you start trying to logic out exactly what kind of justice they had, you start having other issues, which I'll talk about that at some other time. And I'm pretty sure most of y'all can recognize it. I wish I was like Legal Eagle. I knew laws on situation, but we can talk about the flaws in their idea of crime in shows. But I've just been talking about DC. Marvel is the same way. Marvel, you have the Hulk, who basically is supposed to be the strongest man on Earth, and you have General Thunderbolt Ross always trying to attack him. And as Thunderbolt Ross keeps attacking him, he's just a regular person most of the time, coming up here with tanks. We've seen on multiple occasions that Hulk can take down a tank, a helicopter, an airplane. So, even if you say you have a gamma weapon on it, it's usually not durable enough to take down the Hulk. And the reason I can also say this because when you start getting to stories like in Justice League, where you have the Tower of Babel and the whole Dark Knight issues that happen with Batman, you start getting to the only people that can really take these heroes down and almost kill them is a hero himself. Like Batman in both the Tower of Babel and in the Dark Knight issues were based off in those issues, Batman was the one who came up with plans to take down the rest of the Justice League. In the same way, when you go to other universes and stuff like that, not universes, dimensions of the multiverse, you start having other people like Owlman, who almost took everybody out, and he was another form of Batman. He was just another Bruce Wayne out there that tried to take people down. Just like there's another Superman named Ultraman, and I like I said, I like that about American superheroes, because you do have this sort of overpowered vibe where they're always going to be the ones who can defeat enemy. They're always going to be overpowered. They're always going to find a way to, as Superman said, bring in truth, justice, and the American way. That is the whole point of it. That, if you can find this one special power, you can basically defeat anyone. You're basically unstoppable just about when you come to those type of stories. And I feel like I've beaten this horse down on that one. So, let's go to number 4 that I'm thankful for. And number 4 is anime. I am very appreciative of anime. The first anime that I knew was an anime was Dragon Ball Z. Back on when it was on my TV on UPN. If you don't know what UPN is, I don't even know what the acronym for UPN was, but UPN would show on Saturday mornings. Back when we had just like you had that one block of Saturday morning cartoons on everything: ABC, Fox, UPN. UPN had Dragon Ball Z come on, and Dragon Ball Z was only showing the Saiyan saga. It'll go from when Raditz comes and Goku dies, Goku going to Kami's Lookout, and to the very beginning of the when Nappa and Vegeta makes it there, and then it would cut off and go right back to the beginning. And I was so confused, but it had me hooked. I was sitting up there trying to do the Kamehameha wave in my house and all this stuff, and I was just like, and there was no internet back then in the 90s. So, I'm sitting up there thinking, okay, I want to really believe that it was possible to just put my hands together and focus, like they said, the energy of your body into making this blast. But it never happened. If you've had it happen, I would love to learn from you. But you probably think I'm crazy for saying it. But also, comparing this to the first one I said about superheroes, anime characters are not perfect. They're strong, but they're not perfect. Um, every every anime character I watch has needed training, and also the thing that I like about anime, which is sometimes hard to get into for some people, is that it is episodic. Every episode connects to the next episode, which is good when you like watch it. And if you miss an episode, they always have the recap at the beginning of it. Like if you watch the beginning of Black Clover, they always tell you what happened in the last episode, just in case you missed it. Um, when it comes to a lot of American cartoons, you could probably miss an episode and then come back and you're still in the story, because you can put American shows a lot of time in any order that you want. Not all of them, but a lot of them, like the Superman and Batman stuff. You can have the Joker here. One day he got somehow out of Arkham. Then next day you have Penguin, or you have two episodes that came out where it's the Joker on them, and you're like, okay, so somehow he got out. You don't know how he got out, but you know he got out. Um, and it doesn't really matter what order you watch those old ones in until you start trying to figure out which Robin is in the old Batman shows. Because going from Dick Grayson to Tim Drake, you don't know, like, you can tell them apart, and you can tell the animation is different, but it's also once you figure out who not. But a lot of times the episodes could have came in any order. You could see Two Face in one episode, then you see how he became Two Face the episode after. There was not really an order to how you watch it. You just know that it happened at some point, and you didn't lose interest in it. A lot of times, I know when people watch anime, they like, I'm like 3 episodes behind. I just gave up on it after I ran out, after I wasn't able to see the episodes. Now, when people like Crunchyroll and other other sites like Netflix and Hulu and so on, if you miss the episode, you can go ahead and go to one of them places and catch up on. But that's something that I enjoy. I like the episodicness of anime where like you can watch the character progress. It's not just like I woke up like this kind of feel like you get with Superman. Like Goku, I saw him go from being a little kid who bumped his head to a grown man who is fighting the god of destruction. Because literally everyone else that he fought since then has basically been somewhere in that area. Even Jiren, I want to say. Jiren might be able to defeat Beerus, but I'm not sure. But that's the whole point. That when it comes to anime, you do have this episodic progression of seeing how this character becomes special. And I like a deep story, I guess. I like having a story that goes on and on to where I like seeing you get in the anime and the manga the same feel you get for a character as you do in the comic books. People who read the comic books of Batman from, I'm not gonna say beginning because some of us wasn't even born when the Batman comics first came out. But just reading his comic book, you got what Batman, Superman, or whoever in the comic books was all about. You got to know them. You got to develop with them. With the cartoons that I was talking about earlier, the animated series and all that stuff, you don't get that. You get a present photo of what that person made. Even if you watch some of the DC movies that came out with, you have different flavors of what the character is. Like the Batman Harley Quinn movie, you have a version of Batman who's a little bit more comedic. If you just look at Batman as a person, if you watch a different show, he can be dark and brooding. He can be comical like the Brave and the Bold. He can be somewhere in the middle where he's kind of playful but also serious at the same time. There are several different flavors, and it depends on the core things about him still that nobody messes with. Same thing with Superman. But there are different personalities that people give him based off of what they interpret him to be. With Goku, Naruto, Luffy, and I'm gonna get to my point for them in a second too. With them, you have a general progression of how this character became, and there's no different variants. I think this character's like this. No, you have a story of when you first met Naruto to when he become Hokage. You kind of can see the arc of how he came to where he is now. And the same thing with Luffy. You see from when Luffy was in that barrel to when he is in Wano now. You get this whole feel of who this character is, what this character is interested in. And let me get to what I'm about to say about them before I forget it. With Luffy, Naruto, and Goku, and many others, I'll even put Asa in this. You have also this idiot savant when it comes to fighting. This person is dumb as a rock, and I like them being kind of the dumbness to them kind of makes it to where they are they're not related, but they're a little bit more comical, because listening to Goku, and Goku sees two people kiss, he's like, "Oh, that's disgusting." Goku, haven't you kissed Chi-Chi before? No. And it's fun to hear that because at that point that Goku got two kids. So there's a problem with that. No, there's not even a problem with that. There is no way that he can have two kids and he don't know what sex or kissing is. Because somewhere in that time, he had two half Saiyan boys. And usually kissing comes somewhere between having two boys. Somewhere. But granted, also Goku was the one who thought that marriage was a type of food. So I guess he wouldn't know what a kiss was. She just did it, and She never told him what it was, but still. Um, when it comes though to these characters, you get that kind of, because they're so special, and you see that from the people that have around them, they kind of ground the whole situation. Goku is kind of off the wall. He's also the last man in for most things that happen. He comes in after everybody else and got their tail whooped and saves everybody. But during that time, he's training. When he went from when he died after Raditz, he trained during that whole time, just like everybody else did, to become able to fight against Nappa and Vegeta. Then, when he was healing up, Krillin and his son Gohan went to Namek to go get the Dragon Balls to bring back their Dragon Balls. And again, Goku came in last minute, training for the 6 months apparently it took him to get there, and was able to make it there in time to save everybody. Got himself hurt again, and was able to heal up, and was the last man in to fight Frieza before Namek blew up. And then they went to New Namek, which we don't know where that is. But that's the whole thing. Goku always has his time to train. Naruto had his time to train because with them, they have this immense power. Like, Goku didn't start off with this immense power, but Naruto did. Naruto started off with this great amount of power that he can control, which is Kurama. No, Kurama is the fox spirit inside of him that he's never tried to get to know. He doesn't even know why it's sealed up in him. He doesn't know why it's in him, who put it in him. He just knew at the very beginning that he was a burden to the village and that no one liked him. But he didn't know why nobody liked him. Which in retrospect is odd with him being the Hokage's son, and I'm pretty sure that would have been common knowledge that he was the Hokage's son, which means that he would have got a little bit more respect, but that's besides the point. You got to see how he was able to focus himself and be able to use the fox spirit. Same with Luffy, how he became able to control not only just his rubber body, but his blood, that's how you start getting into the gears. Gear 4th, gear 3rd, gear 2nd. He just uses his body to basically manipulate his body to do different things. This is how you get all this up, because of what he was. And I like that about anime. I like how, and also, anime is one of the only places besides watching Power Rangers that I can watch giant robots. I love watching giant robots. I love it. My name is Heavy Arms 45, based off of the Gundam Heavy Arms. It's kind of obvious. I like big robots. Big O was alright. It wasn't as, I won't say as elegant, but it wasn't as maneuverable as you can see when it comes to the Gundams, Escaflowne, what's some other ones I can think of? Those are two that comes off the top of my head. There's other, Gun Sword, and yeah, we'll stick with them three right there. But I like watching giant robots. I like seeing people who have superhuman powers, like My Hero Academia. I love My Hero Academia. There's so much stuff to like about seeing a person, like how they develop and how they grow into being the hero you want them to be. And in some cases, it's not even watching them be the hero you want them to be. It's just watching them become a person. Because I will say that anime does have their times where a person doesn't really have a lot of personality. but they do have the ability to whoop people's tail. And the person I'm thinking of specifically for this is my boy Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star. Has no personality whatsoever. Literally everyone else in the show controls the emotions of the story because you feel bad for this post-apocalyptic world that's kind of like a Mad Max universe, and here's this one man trying to serve justice to everybody and basically blowing up people's heads at the same time. You know, I enjoy watching it. I'm thankful for these anime characters. It's nothing else I can say about it. I am thankful for them because without anime characters and superhero characters, I don't think I would have the same appreciation for justice, because life is not fair, as we always say. Reality is messed up sometimes. There's not justice for everyone in life, so it's good to have shows like that maybe just a little bit of justice happens out of it. Even if you think that certain anime characters, Goku, is being too naive when they let someone go that basically thought he was king of the galaxy, and just like on a whim blew up planets just for fun. That, that was somewhat special. That was my fourth one, and I have to get myself ready for this fifth one. This fifth one has nothing to do with TV. One of the reasons that I have been late making these videos, not only because of personal reasons, but I'm watching these not these Democratic, but the impeachment process. I've been fascinated by that for the last couple weeks, just trying to gather information on what's happened. I've looked, not through the whole thing, but I've looked at parts of the Mueller report and all this stuff. And I don't know how many of y'all out there that listen to this is Republican, Democrat, or anything like that. But I'm going to say that I am thankful for Donald Trump. And before people start throwing stones and basically disliking this, let me explain. Whether you believe that Donald Trump is innocent, guilty, you want him to kiss your grits or whatever, the fact of the matter is that a lot of stuff that they have said happened, and a lot of stuff that has came up, has not been argued that it didn't happen. It's that they don't think that the things are impeachable, and I'm gonna leave that to the judicial system. But I am thankful to Donald Trump for showing us the holes. A lot of times people say you don't know what you'll do until the rubber meets the road. And with Donald Trump, we've been on that road for a while. We've been watching every single bump, hoping that we didn't catch a flat. We've had a lot of bumps. We always have bumps, but when you have a regular person driving a car, you see like what it can go through. But when somebody goes into like try to play NASCAR with a car, you start seeing really where the problems are. You start seeing where the little where there are dings, holes, possible damage, and through what has been going on with Donald Trump, we've seen a lot of holes. What do you believe that it's the Democrats are holes or the Republicans are creating holes? You're seeing that there is a general problem with our government, which always happens. And I'm gonna throw this back to something I was just talking. With anime, I'm watching Gundam's 0079, and that's sort of the same way. It was dealing with they're all humans, but you have the Zeons who are basically they want to try and stop the democratic way of the Federation because they feel like they're going to lead them down the wrong way. The same way that Republicans feel that the Democrats will lead our government down the wrong way with their socialist agenda. I'm not saying that Democrats have a socialist agenda. What I'm saying is that there's always time where people that are technically together and everything have a fight with each other. We know that from the Civil War that happened almost a century and a half ago. And I might be off by that. But to say that America's been around since 1776 and it's still around, it's still technically an experiment, it's still improving, still growing. And to show with Donald Trump being we're seeing where there are problems in the system because you're seeing what laws are out there. You're seeing what laws say about certain things. You're getting to see what our government does in different processes. And you can say the same thing for the Nixon era and Clinton era technically. You got to see what happens in these situations that basically would be considered basically how far a president can go with their power. And I want to say that Trump is trying every single wall in there, and he's making sure that they're tight. I didn't make this channel to be political, even though I sound political. I feel like right now, this is not meant for politics. This is meant for me to just state facts. And with it being Thanksgiving, I am thankful that we got to see what's wrong with our country. I'm sorry to say that it had to come through so much mudslinging and stuff as what we're getting through the impeachment proceedings and as we're going through looking at the news, because everyone has the First Amendment right in America on their freedom of speech. So you can say whatever you want, but you also have to be, as someone else said, you have to have the preparation to take the repercussions of anything that you say. Like, there are several times where people say, and he has not denied, that the KKK are a bunch of fine people. Well, that's his opinion. To me, I don't feel that the KKK is a bunch of fine people. I don't feel like I don't feel like they're even decent people. I feel like with the person I feel like they trash. I don't like them. In the same way that I feel like Black Lives Matter and is a good thing, and I'm fine with the Me Too movement. While possibly someone else will feel like those are horrible things that shouldn't have never happened. And You're basically doing this because of the 1% of people who do that. And that's somewhat true, but also you have to say that in America, we are in everything we do, we're extremists. We are extremists. Everything's it's either yes or no. There are gun or no guns. There is no no one wants to do any form of compromise in America to try and make sure that the walls stay up. Um, like I said, I don't want to be political, and in my head, I'm like, if you don't want to be political, don't say no. But let me go ahead and say this: whichever side you on, and I'm just gonna stick to what we know as the facts. Whatever you don't say, when it comes to stuff like this, we have to stick with the facts. Um, Emotions are for the movies, um, and that is hard for me to say. Like, if you're watching the movie, how about to say Mississippi, A Time to Kill with Samuel L. Jackson. The trial was a very open and shut trial. He shot them boys. He came in with a AR-15 and blew them away. That that is true. Was he insane at the time doing? No. If I was in a situation where I had did something, yes. They raped and tried to kill my daughter. Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell. Yes, that is very true. Should he have went to jail for it? I would say no. But, and this is the but on it, under American law, there is no reason what he did would be considered uh first degree murder, I want to say, maybe second degree murder, because he planned on killing them. He planned to do that. It wasn't like how they, and even they stated in the movie, he, it wasn't a lapse in judgment all of a sudden that made him decide to go in there and try and shoot those boys. He realized what they did and how they completely messed up his door, and he decided to shoot them. That was premeditated, and he by the law should have went to jail. And this is, and it saddens me to say that because I'm one of the people who, I'm like, yes, he should be free, but at the same time, if I went with just what the law says, he can't, he shouldn't go free because apparently, you know, extenuating circumstances like that would not be acceptable. In that same way, I hear, as I listen to a lot of these interviews and stuff like that, and people talking to the witnesses that were doing the impeachment trial, they didn't ask questions on the facts. They basically were fine with the facts. They were having a problem with the, they were trying to do a spin. And I feel like if you didn't do anything wrong, there is no reason for you to have to try and spin it. Um and that's all I'm gonna say about that because it's not relevant to what I'm talking about right now. But I am thankful to Donald Trump for showing us what we need to improve in our government. Um, we should have, there is a time for partisanship to where it's like I'm Democrat, you're Republican. Let's fight. But then there's time for bipartisanship, and it's a time for you to say right is right and wrong is wrong. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, and I'm not going to try and sway anybody on any side on this, you should be willing to say, look at the facts and say what is right and what is wrong, not just propaganda. I look at MSNBC, I look at CNN, I listen to other people on YouTube who have like their own reporters, like the Young Turks, which you can say that they're on the Democrat side. But listen to all the different people. Everyone has their own view on stuff, but there's like, if I go with everything that I'm hearing on YouTube and all that stuff, the only person who's speaking on Trump's side is Fox. Fox is ride or die Trump. And that goes back to what I was talking before. My job as a reporter is not to make the news. I'm not supposed to create anything. I am supposed to bring the facts. In a colorful way, yes. But to bring the facts. A lot of the people that we hear talking is not political. They're not, they don't know all the facts. They're just going off of whatever agenda that is being thrown out there. So, I'm thankful that we have this process of giving a person a chance, just like any other trial. With that being said, also, you have to know where to go to find information about this stuff, to figure out what exactly is wrong. One person, and this is just a little shout out, one person that if you just want to talk about, is what he did technically illegal if it comes to Trump, look at Legal Eagle. He is not partisan. He is bipartisan. He has nothing to do. He just states what laws technically are broken in those situations. And he's not trying to throw anybody in the butt. He even gives you what statute in federal law is being broken. I feel like I have said enough. If you've listened to me this long, thank you, because I didn't know if we were going to make it or not. And with it being Thursday, I guess I would have to do another one tomorrow. No, I wouldn't have to do one tomorrow. I'd have to do one next week. So this is stuff I'm thankful for. And if you have a problem with this, I understand. We all have our issues. I hope y'all have a great Thanksgiving. And I know, like, with your whole family, you don't have to say what you're thankful for. So go ahead. Have a good time. Eat that turkey. Eat that duck, whatever. Barbecue. I've heard people doing barbecue. Have fun today. And I hope you enjoy yourself. I hope you have a good time. And I'll catch y'all later.